In this video, we are showing how to prepare the spine for the wheel pose. So nice flexibility and movement in the spine, isolated pelvic movements, a hollow back. So there are 3 movements in this video. The first one is how to do a standing hollow back, and then the standing spinal waves, and then finally the spinal waves from down dog to up dog. So this is a very good movement for the spine, which warms up the spine and opens up the front of the body and brings about a lot of flexibility in the back of the body. Enjoy the movements and do a few repetitions to really get that spine moving and to make it much more flexible. Shoulder mobility and shoulder flexibility is very important to do Chakrasana. So here we are using a yoga strap. Make sure that when you're taking your hands back, you're not bending the elbows. In case if your elbows are bending, you can hold the strap wider. Do about 30 repetitions of the same. Here we are going to open the arms. We call this as cactus arms. So when you reach your arms back, you really open the front of the body, and then you bring your elbows and your palms together and you round your back. So your arms are opening and closing, and the spine is rounding and arching. Again, do about 15 or 20 of this with the breath. Next one are the pulses. As you can see, your elbows and your palms have to be touching each other, and then you're going to lift up and down. The final in this series is the wall circle. You have to stand close to the wall. Without bending the arms, you have to circle the arms against a wall. This will also help you to bring about a good range of movement in the shoulders and a good flexibility. And also it gives a nice spinal twist as you can see the body turning and facing forward. Here we are working on opening up the chest, the thoracic, and the upper spine. So the first posture is the extended puppy pose. You have to ensure that your hips stay above the knees. In case if you have sensitive knees, keep something under the knees to support it. And then from there, you have to bring the chest and the chin down, stretching your arms forward, trying to bring in the chest and the armpits as close to the floor as possible. In the next one, we keep the feet together and we come close to the wall. We place our palms in line with the face and then straightening the arms, rolling the shoulders away from the ears, pressing the front of the hips down, we extend the body up. Keep breathing while you're holding this posture and stay anywhere from 30 seconds to 1 minute. After taking a few breaths, we are going to move ourselves closer towards the wall. Hips pressing down, feet can be slightly apart. And then if you're comfortable, you stretch your arms forward. Depending on your flexibility, depending on your practice, keep moving the body closer and closer towards the wall and keep reaching up with your hands and with your chest. Once you are done, make sure you take a few breaths in Balasana, releasing. This one is a quad stretch. You can keep a padding under the knee to support the knee. And then moving the hip forward, you can arch back. You can stretch your shoulders and get a nice opening in the chest. And then moving the hips forward again, you can start to bend your elbows, reach your toes, and draw the head towards the foot and draw the elbows in. Stay here for 5 to 10 breaths. Release slowly, and then do on the other side. Here we place 2 blocks against a wall, placing our palms on the blocks and then coming up into Chakrasana helps us to give a little more range and opening into the arms and the shoulders. So you stay here for your few breaths and then you can come down. In the second round, you can come up again. And then if you have the flexibility and the practice, you can walk your feet closer towards the hand and you can start bringing your head close to the wall. And then slowly, you can start bringing the chest closer to the wall. Throughout, keeping your arm extended, pressing the palms and the feet down. Then you can come down, take a few breaths. And then you can turn over and place your feet on the blocks. Again, with the feet on the block, you can stretch your arms, your chest, your upper body a little bit more. So keep the toes pressing into the skirting of the wall. Press the feet on the block firmly. Draw your elbows in. And as you inhale, lift up. With the feet on the block, you can find a little more opening into the chest, into the armpit. Stay here for a few breaths. And then maybe you can start walking your hands in, deepening the back bend a little bit more. To come out, walk your hands back and slowly release yourselves down. Moving into the wheel pose, holding it for a few seconds. And from there, moving into Viprita Dandasana. Resting the crown of the head on the floor, bringing the forearms down, interlace the fingers behind the head. Keeping the crown of the head on the floor, feet together, walk your legs forward. And then depending on your practice, start straightening the legs. Come into this beautiful opening of the front body. Stay here for a few breaths. And then to come out, walk your legs back, palms on the floor, lift up into the wheel, and then release yourselves down. You can repeat this 2 more times. Stay for a few breaths. The next variation of wheel is a 3-point contact. We come up into the wheel again. Consciously shift the weight into both the feet and onto one palm. And then take the other hand and try to hold the knee. This creates a beautiful arch in the body and improves the flexibility of the wheel pose. Do it in both the sides. Hold it for a few seconds and then come down and rest. Once you have established yourself into the wheel pose, you've done a few weeks of practice, and you can also comfortably do 3-point contact in the wheel pose. Then you start walking in Chakrasana, moving the opposite limbs one after the other. You can move in one direction, and then if you happen to come close to the wall, you can start deepening the wheel pose by bringing the chest towards the wall. You can even start attempting to move your legs forward and to straighten the legs as much as possible, going into a deeper wheel. And then you can walk in the opposite direction, moving your feet and your legs. And then finally, you can come down and rest, taking a few breaths.